I'm Craig Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different and every breakup is different. Work with me and you'll get professional help on your situation. And if you're in no contact, focused on personal growth, my workbook series, The Knowledge, will help you make changes like you've never made before. Available now at AskCraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And today we're going to be talking about the dumper who got dumped back.
Oh dear, a double dump.
Yeah. Well, believe it or not, oftentimes dumpers get dumped. How does that work? Well, I'll tell you, what I've seen, Margaret, is that, you could be going along well in a relationship and the person that does the dumping, they decide, I'm not happy. This isn't working for me. I got to end this relationship. And they really mean it. I've had plenty of people that thought, I have to end this.
Oh,
this
yes.
is done.
But for whatever reason, I think I have to end this.
And they feel good about their decision.
Yep.
Then, as we say, feelings change and they go back to the ex and they try and work things out with the ex. Now, sometimes the ex will give them another chance, and sometimes the ex says, no, I've moved on now. Sometimes that happens. And so now the dumper feels like the dumpee.
Yep.
Believe it or not. And if that's happened to you, leave a comment so people can actually see that.
Because it really does happen.
And one of the other things that I see with that is when you break up with somebody, it really affects the other person, as most of you have been dumped. No.
Yeah.
And when a lot of times the relationship doesn't feel the same. And so the person that was dumped, they maybe get to a place where they've moved on or they just don't feel the same anymore. Now the dynamic has shifted because of that hurt, because of the pain of the breakup.
I can't love you like I used to.
The energy, the trust is very different. And so they get back, the dumper gets the person back. And then after a while, they're like, no, this just isn't working for me. And now you get dumped. So things like that do happen quite a bit.
Yes, they do.
And I got an email coaching today that I thought would be good to share with you guys. This is a guy from his mid-20s that sent this. And his girlfriend was a couple years younger. He said they broke up after 4 years.
Wow.
Okay, now
That's
remember,
a long time.
the first 2.5 years we were together, we stayed at our parents' house. After those years, she moved to another country and worked there for about 10 months. We weren't really together since we were at different timelines, but weren't really separated as well since we both knew we really loved each other. We lived our different lives, but still kept contact. After 10 months, we finally met up in my home country. She was the first woman in my life to ever meet my family. We traveled for 1 month, then she went home and I stayed 1 more month, then got back to where she lived, and automatically we got back together. After about 4 months, we finally moved in together at my apartment. But at that time, and 5 years before that, I had an addiction to cannabis. It took over my life. After work, I won't say where he used to work, but it was a stressful job, which I wouldn't want to do. I'll just leave it at that. Then he would work out and then come home, rushing just so he could ease his anxiety with the cannabis. I've now been clean for 3 months and going strong. That's good.
Good for you, buddy.
We had it good. The love was there for sure, but I wasn't really satisfied with my life since I had a rough childhood, being split from my mom at the age of 2 or 3.
Oh, Lord, there's nothing worse.
Why don't you talk about that a little bit, Margaret?
For a baby that age to lose mom We come into the world dependent. We're totally dependent on mom for protection, for food, for everything. And the relationship with mom, the younger we are, the more profound it is. So to lose mom at 2 or 3 is a terrible thing to have happen, and can often lead to a lifetime of depressions coming up now and again. So it's a terrible time. And babies try to grieve. First they protest, and then they kind of give up, and then they grieve as best they can. But it's a terrible wound. That would be a toddler.
Yep.
To a toddler. Yeah.
And the thing that I think, or was thinking, is that would be most likely the reason for his addiction.
Sure.
For the,
Absolutely.
because of the cannabis.
Yeah.
Because he didn't have the ability to soothe himself.
And exactly, because that is where we initially learn it, is from mom soothing us. Not only that, he was separated from the person he loved.
And it goes on a little bit more.
Yeah.
He said, having different relatives to take care of me every now and then, not really a stable first 3 years.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing but trouble from that.
Yep, so that's going to be a real struggle for him.
The more aware of it he is, and the more he talks about it, the better he will do. But being separated from his girlfriend would have aggravated everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The real reason to why we broke up were because my priority wasn't really focused on her. I never listened to what she had to say. Never gave her the love, attention, and affection that she needed. I wasn't really there for her, always focusing on my friends and their needs. And, if you're smoking weed all the time, you're not going to be in a state of mind where you can be present with your partner. Right?
And he was obviously more comfortable with the more distant relationships than with the intimate one, which would also go right back to losing mom.
Yep. She kept asking if we could do something, but I kept on saying no. I'm too tired. No, I need to save money. Or no, I don't want to.
And how much was the pot costing you?
Yeah, that's probably what he wanted to stay home and do. And probably was what he was doing with all his friends.
Yeah.
It's now been 4 months since we broke up. I initiated the breakup since I thought maybe alone time would make me feel good again. But no.
Of course not.
You see? Here we have a dumper saying their motives.
Yep.
I thought it would make me feel good. I thought this would make me happy.
Yeah.
But no. After 1 month, we met up. We ate together and slept together, and she stayed until 2 in the morning. It didn't feel right for her, so she drove back to her parents' house. All right, so now it doesn't feel right for her. Mm-hmm. Maybe it was too much too soon.
Mm-hmm. Yes, too much too soon.
Week after that, we met up again. I asked her if she wanted to get back together, but she said no, since it's already been 1 month at the time, which that seems like a BS excuse to me.
Yeah, that's a short period of time.
Yeah. And she was really upset since I kicked her out of the apartment in 1 week's notice. So she was angry, and rightfully so.
I decided to break up with you. You have to be out in a week.
Yeah. So she was hurt and angry by that.
Yeah.
2 weeks after that, I emailed her telling her how much I loved her and that I wanted her back. She told me with sincerity that she loved me, but that it's time for us and me to move on since she's going to move to another city for college in this fall. We've met about 4 times since then. Grabbing some stuff, she left my place. I've been showing I'm strong and I'm doing good without her, but in reality, I feel like crap, and I miss her so bad that I would do anything to give it another try. Yeah. Here, you see, we had a dumper saying that I will do anything
to get her back. Yeah.
See? When before he thought this was the answer to making him feel better.
He didn't know why he felt so bad.
Yeah. But many of you have been broken up with somebody for similar things.
Absolutely, sure.
No contact has now been a few weeks. Do you think it's over? Should I move on with my life? Should I be the one to contact her, or should I wait for her to contact me? I love your videos. You are a big inspiration to me. Help me a lot and other people during these hard times. Wishing you nothing but the best of luck, both of you and Coach Margaret. And he said, P.S. would love to see a video on this one. This was an email coaching. So, do I think it's over? Should I move on with my life? Margaret, what do you think about that? Do you think this is over yet?
I think she's been pretty clear that she's done. Where they lived with her family and then they moved out, she's also trying to separate from her family as well as from him. She's trying to establish herself as a grown-up. It doesn't sound to me right now like she wants to.
No, I wouldn't say right now, but that doesn't mean she couldn't change her mind.
No, it certainly does not mean that at all.
They have been together a long time.
4 years.
And I
Was it 4 years?
Yeah. I definitely think it should be her to reach out because you've tried. You've literally made numerous attempts to try and repair this, and she's saying no right now. She doesn't want to. And her going off to school, I think, is a fairly big issue for this particular situation, right? Because they do live in different countries as well.
That's got to be hard, and we see more and more of that.
Yeah. We do see that a lot of times. You know, I think she needs to see what it's like to go off to school and to be there
and be on her own
and experience that for a while. But I think as the newness and excitement of that wears off, she could reach out and say, come for a visit, or I do miss you, and you know what I mean?
I do think she loves him.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
But again, she's doing a whole other task, which is separating from her family.
Sure. And that has a lot to do to her age. But, you know, the thing about this is that he's really struggled with his life.
Oh, he's had a terrible time.
And it's far more important for him to get that straightened out than to worry about this relationship because, you know, he's been addicted to cannabis for a long time, and though he's been clean for a little bit, and that's
3
great.
months. That's very, very new.
Yeah. He's still got to replace the weed with healthy coping mechanisms and get to a place where you feel good about yourself. And, you know, if you get to a good place and, you know, she gets to start experiencing things and starts to miss you, she could easily want to repair this with you, especially if she sees how much you've changed.
Exactly.
But I think it's going to be important for him to show her more than anything when she's ready.
And for his sake, I would really recommend that he talk with a therapist. Because again, for him, he's lost his mother. You know, one loss brings up all the other losses you've had.
Yep.
The loss of your mother at age 2 or 3 is about as bad as it gets.
Yep.
And so he's probably having a doubly difficult time with this and probably wonders why everybody he loves leaves him. It's not his fault, but somebody's going to have to work with him around that.
Yeah.
But I think he'll have difficulty in relationships until he does that.
I agree.
Yeah.
He's got to learn to be more emotionally attuned and aware of his partner's needs. And, you know, realize that if you're in a relationship, you have to make it a priority.
But how did he know about how to be there for somebody or be affectionate?
Yeah.
He never saw it. He got passed from relative to relative. Now, some of them may have been lovely people and tried hard, but he kept being passed around.
Yep. So he had,
So, but if you look at, the first thing I look at is length of time. And it's 4 years, and the quality of the relationship. I don't know that we heard a whole lot about that, but if they were together for 4 years, clearly there was quality.
Yeah.
So I agree with you.
But
let her do her thing.
Yeah.
For now.
And that way, and then when she does come back, I think for sure he'll hear from her though.
I think so.
At some point, she's going to reach out, and that's when you want to show her that you're a very different person. Yeah. And I think she could be surprised enough to say, "Wow, maybe things would be a lot different with him." And you're growing up.
Is there a big age difference?
Not terribly.
Not terribly.
Several years, like 3 or 4 years, I think it was.
Okay.
But maturity-wise, I think he needs to show her that he's going to be a better partner.
He's in charge of this, and he's learned a bunch of things.
Yeah. Okay, so if you want to get our help personally, just go to my website, askcraig.net. Sign up for the coaching option that works best for you. I do email coaching and I do Skype. Margaret is available for Skype coaching.
If you think I can be helpful, please sign up.
Just click on Margaret on the top of the website to do that. That's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And we will talk with you soon.